am Nadia, and then I'm 26 years old. So there's a bit of misconception about construction as a whole out there, and I'm like, nah, I just want to be able to know more about green construction, because at the end of the day, we want to create an eco-friendly environment that is sustainable as well. Every activity has been amazing. I've gotten to know more about the career path. I've learned about the importance of green construction. We visited historic buildings as well, and then we visited companies who are doing big time construction in the UK. So I've enjoyed every bit about this week, and I've learned a lot as well. So I'm grateful for the knowledge gained, and then the impact everybody is making as well. I'm aspiring to be a built environment surveyor, more or less like a retrofit assessor or a retrofit coordinator. I have these two career paths in mind. Put yourself out there, get involved in these activities, because these are the resources that Kinshas is providing for us, the young people, and it's best if you take advantage of it now.
My name is Jordan and I'm 30 years old. I guess I could say I have an interest in construction, brief experience doing some labor work with a friend who is a bricklayer. I've kind of spoke to him about the industry, the avenues of getting into it, and I also spoke to him about during the time of COVID. He said he was one of the only people that he knew that was in work. A lot of people was asking him for work, and so that industry kind of thrived. That's something I want to get into because job security is very important to me. I've enjoyed the teamwork activities, also learning about the different roles in green construction, and there were so many. I didn't know there would be so many roles, and the entry requirements, the career progression, things like that, and the impact on the environment. So I'm interested in bricklaying. I wouldn't say that's my only interest, but I like to do hands-on work. I don't mind working alone or in a team, and heat pump installation as well, something like that, because I like to learn new things and it's something that I enjoy doing.
Hello, I'm Kate Swan and I'm an environmental and sustainability consultant at MacDonald. So I went to university and I studied geophysics, and then did a placement year whilst I was at university. Realised that I didn't want to follow the geophysics path because often it goes into oil procurement, and I realised I was interested in the environment and that doesn't necessarily align. So whilst I was at university, I took the opportunity to do a placement year with Mott MacDonald, and I got put into the environmental team. Through that, realised I really enjoyed the work, and so once I completed my placement, I went back and completed my degree, and then was offered a graduate role at Mott MacDonald and decided to go with it. Yeah, so the great thing about my role is very varied, so each day is slightly different. Usually I start the day with a check-in with my project teams, so my role is often between multiple different disciplines, so we work between environmental disciplines like air quality, heritage, noise, climate, carbon. So usually for whatever project we're working on, we'll have a team stand-up at the start of the day, catch up on what happened the day before and plan the next actions. Usually I also do a lot of client-facing work, so then we'd have a client update to sort of basically bring them up to speed with what we've been doing in the last period. And then in the afternoon I'd tend to go back to more project work, so delivering the actual assessments or deliverables that we're doing for the client. I think probably the variety, so any day can pivot just quickly based on something that happens on one of the projects. You can go from doing an environmental impact assessment for something in the UK to talking about a mangrove forest off the coast of Qatar and what the impacts are going to be to that. So I think that's something that surprises people when they realise the variety that can and how quickly it could change.
Yeah, so Tom MacDonald, I'm a senior consultant within the sustainability and ESG team at Mott MacDonald. I've been here for about 5 years now. It's a very varied role. A lot of the time is spent communicating with other people, so that tends to be meetings. But there's also a lot of times where you're reviewing reports and assessing people's kind of credentials and assessing some of the things they've set out to do, including maybe designs of their buildings and maybe some of their strategies they've set out, and understanding a little bit about, you know, how sustainable is that. And one topic we're really talking about a lot is circular economy. So how circular is what your approaches are to the way you do business, but also the way you do projects. It's basically about using the least amount of resources as possible, and resources that we do use, how do we ensure that we keep them alive for as long as possible at their highest possible value. So I'll give you a bit of an example of that. Maybe someone's got some tires that they've got in their car. How do we make sure that take that tire and make sure that it can be used at its highest possible value somewhere else, and not just turned into like a rubber, you know, downcycling it and removing the value from it, or setting it on fire, which is obviously also not a great way of using resources that are finite ultimately within our environment. Absolutely. I think especially when you're in the kind of the first few years of your career, or you're moving into this kind of space, I think it's about just taking opportunities that interest you and trying out different things. You know, I've worked in a few different companies, and I've also worked in a few different areas in the business here. And it's okay just to kind of try different things and see what works for you, because you can always learn something from whatever you've done. And you can always take that learning into the next piece as well. So I just always say yes as much as possible to opportunities that are adjacent or around, because you'll learn more than you think you will.